So you think you're slick for charging third-degree murder, huh? No intent? Couldn't even go for second degree. That means one of two things. One, you want these riots to continue, or two, you only believe in charging people the full extent of the law unless they're police officers. Charging him with third degree shows me that the only reason you charged him in the first place is because there was riots. Fuck off with that shit.
Hey, a reminder to any queer person not understanding riots and looting. The Stonewall Uprising was 5 days of rioting, looting, and violent protests against the police. These riots, led by Black and brown, trans, and queer folks, were the catalyst for the reason we have LGBTQ rights today.
I guess this is another story time. I lost my newborn baby. I had to drive in a taxi carrying its dead body to the hospital. In 2012, I was falsely accused of shoplifting and physically assaulted by the police. The combination of being abused by the police and losing my child left me with severe mental health issues. The man that assaulted me, James Kiddy, was eventually let go. He dragged me by my hair and beat me. However, later on in 2014, when I was detained in a mental health facility, I was sexually assaulted by someone that I trusted. As I defended myself against my attacker, they called the police. I was arrested for assault for defending myself against someone that was trying to rape me. Rather than put me in a place that could better suit my needs, considering I had severe mental health issues, they put me in a jail cell. I was later found dead in that cell. I was never once given the medical help or the medication that I needed. My family were told that I strangled myself in my cell. However, we all know that's physically impossible. Her name was Sarah Reed, and she was failed by the police on multiple occasions.
We hate the cops. 1312A cab.
PSA. There is currently an armed and militarized gang committing acts of violence and arson amongst the protesters in Minneapolis. This group is well known for disturbing the peace. They are also known for posing a lethal threat to those who they encounter, even unprovoked. When not falsely posing as protesters, they can be identified by their badges. They can be found driving around in cop cars. They can be found abusing their power. They can be found defending Nazis and white supremacists. They can be found with the full weight of their bodies crushing the airways of a black man who has already been incapacitated. These people often come in the disguise of those who are meant to protect and serve our communities.
Never Have I Ever White People Edition. Put a finger down if you've ever been to Starbucks more than twice in the same day. Put a finger down if for some reason your family arrives super early at the airport. Put a finger down if you own cowboy boots, Birkenstocks, or Crocs. Put a finger down if you've ever struggled to find someone who looks similar to you in TV shows or movies. Put a finger down if you've ever been bullied at school or excluded from friend groups because of your skin color. Put a finger down if you've ever been denied a job, housing, loan, or an education because of your skin color. Put a finger down if you've ever been stopped or questioned by the authorities or had the authorities called on you even when you weren't doing anything wrong because you looked suspicious or threatening. Put a finger down if you've ever been verbally or physically assaulted because of your skin color. And lastly, put a finger down if you have ever been murdered solely for being white. Notice how you still have 7 or more fingers up? That is white privilege. What is not clicking? What do you not understand at this point?
Your kind and my kind have been going after each other for centuries. Though it is kind of like a hammer going after a nail.
Everything you got from us.
Tituba, voodoo slave girl who...
1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB 1312 ACAB.
So I've never liked cops because I'd always be doing illegal shit and I knew the cops could take you to jail, and I've been to jail and I did not want to go back. But what I didn't understand at the time, I was 14, okay, is that when me and my friends would go smoke, my friends would give me the stuff on the way back. And I had a very diverse group of friends, okay? I was like the only white girl. And I didn't understand why they would do that. I was like, they're gonna search all of us, bitch. But then one day we got stopped by the cops and they didn't search all of us. They searched all my friends but not me. And I realized that their dislike of cops was not the same as mine because I feared going to jail. They feared losing their life. And I realized that my white skin was like a shield to protect me from cops. They didn't have this shield. And what makes me really fucking mad is that white people won't even accept that their skin is like a shield. They won't even acknowledge it. And what makes me the most fucking mad is that it's not my skin that's the shield, it's the fucking color. When it should be the skin. The skin means life. The color does not mean life. Fuck cops.
I used to walk across campus dressed like this, and middle-aged women would cross the street in fear. And it's like, do you see me? The only thing I'm gonna attack is RuPaul for fracking.
Hi, so my English is not so good, but I try to pronounce this word. Okay? Maybe a little accent, okay? A corrupt country where the ruling party denies human-made climate change, where half of its military spendings are not spent on the military, but on outsourced services, pretty much being corporate welfare on a cosmic scale. Not only is this country run by a Cheeto who got filthy rich via tax loopholes, it is a hotspot for systemic racism. Thank you!
Okay, so a lot of people are talking about the fact that the police officers that murdered George Floyd were arrested. They weren't. They were actually put in protective custody because they were getting death threats from people trying to avenge Floyd. They found his address after he moved out of Minnesota and into Florida, and that was put everywhere, which means out front of his house were people protesting, understandably. There's also a thing in the fact that they're only being charged with third-degree murder, which is a quote-unquote accident. Raise the degree. He knew exactly what he was doing. That was not an accident. Whatever the fuck he's trying to say, that was not an accident.
Listen up, LGBT TikTok. Some of you need this history lesson, and I am gonna give it to you. This is Marsha P. Johnson, a beautiful black transgender woman who started the gay rights movement. On June 28, 1969, the police were raiding the Stonewall Bar in New York City. Why were they arresting people at the Stonewall Bar in New York City? Simply for being homosexual. She was fed up. She grabbed a brick and she threw it at the police. The resulting riot lasted 5 days and gave birth to the gay rights movement. So if you do not think that riots are an effective way of protest, I got bad news for you, because just by you being out and proud and celebrating Pride every year, you are proof that they are effective. Thank you, Marsha. What are you doing to honor her legacy? What are you doing? Black Lives Matter. A black life gave you your freedom.
There's a reason why we say ACAB, and it's not because we believe that all cops are bastards. It is not because we believe that there are some bad apples in the bunch. It is because we believe that the entire system is filled with rotting apple orchards. We do not believe that you are here to protect us, because the ideals of our nation stolen from John Locke were life, liberty, and property. Life, liberty, and property. And you are here to protect property. You are not here to protect us. You are here to make the oppressed more oppressed, and you see black people as property that you can destroy. You do not hear them when they say that they cannot breathe. You do not hear that you are suffocating the entire nation. You do not see that. You see their black skin as target practice, and you see the blood on their ground. You see it as confetti and a job well done. You are here for a God complex. You are not here to protect us. You are not here to protect the American people. You are here to protect the white man and his property. You are not here for us. You are here for you. You are here for him.
Please make this go viral. The reason why it's important for non-racist white people to understand slavery, traditional slavery of a couple hundred years ago, is because the present day Ku Klux Klan members are the descendants of the slave owners from those hundreds of years ago. So the racism, the hatred, the violence, the terror still exists. That's one of the reasons why black people say slavery still exists, because it does in the form of the Ku Klux Klan. When you, as a non-racist white person, when you're silent about the injustices we face, to them, the racists, you're saying it's okay.
I'm going to tell you guys a story just real quick. I was 18 years old and I was driving around with my friend and we saw a cop. We drove right past him and my friend's first reaction was, change seats with me, move, get out of the passenger seat, get in the driver's seat. And, you know, as someone who has been to prison as a 3-time convicted felon, I was like, boy, I'm not trying to go to jail. But I switched with him anyway. And when the cop pulled us over, because he eventually did, he said, nice try. When I play back my dash cam, you think I'm gonna see a white woman driving the car, or am I gonna see a black man? I know he was driving. He wasn't afraid to go to jail like I was. He was afraid to die. He didn't have warrants. He wasn't a criminal. I was. They didn't even run my name. They didn't even run my name. I was afraid to just go to jail. He was afraid to die. Let that sink in for a second.
Alright, baby, let's talk riots. First of all, if you've been saying that the riots delegitimize the movement and you are A, non-black, therefore removed from centuries of anti-black oppression, B, only talk about injustice when it is convenient or popularized, or C, spend more energy bemoaning the riots than you did the actual deaths of Ahmaud, of Breonna, of George, then it is not the movement but your opinion that has been delegitimized. Next caller. Second of all, there are multiple accounts that the people who are actually instigating these riots have been a combination of paid agitators, overzealous cop intervention, and white anarchists. There's an overwhelming number of protesters that are risking their lives to put out fires, to give medical aid to people who need it and protect them from police and others who would use this for their personal gain. Also, can we talk about the fact that during a worldwide pandemic involving a respiratory disease, the police are still using tear gas and mace to dispel crowds? Also, hello, do we not remember the riots in the 60s and the 90s and how everyone said that there would be more riots if things did not get better in America? Do you not remember after every time y'all stole a black life from us that we said things are going to get worse? The only thing y'all like to play more than devil's advocate is the fool.
How can I do this? How can I be so stupid? This could destroy the company.
The company? Who cares about the company? What about us? That thing is a killing machine!
The Constitution suggests that if the government is threatening the power of the people, it is time to overthrow that government. Donald Trump said, shoot the protesters, which is a direct violation of our First Amendment right to assemble. It is time to overthrow the government, and the revolution is here.
This morning, a black transgender man by the name of Tony McDade, who's 38 years old, was shot and killed by Tallahassee police. An eyewitness said they did not hear an officer say anything, no warning, and just shot. And he said he heard 7 or 8 shots, not 1, 7 or 8. What the fuck is this? There was no attempt to de-escalate the situation. They never try to de-escalate the situation. They just kill people. This cop has not been named yet, but I will let y'all know the moment I know who it is. The officer also wasn't fired or anything. He's been placed on administrative leave. I will link the petition in the comments, but why does this keep happening?
Okay, I just got home and a police officer came up to me while I was visiting my father figure's lock at the bridge he jumped off of. And he comes up to me and he goes, is everything all right? And I said, yes. And he asked me something. I go, huh? And he sighs, like, dramatically. And he goes, am I going to have to repeat myself every sentence? And I go, I'm sorry, I have hard hearing. And he goes, okay. I go up there and he goes, where do you live? And I go, just down there. And he goes, okay, I'm going to need to search you. And I go, why are you going to need to search me? And he goes, okay, what's your name? And I go, my name's Blake. And he goes, are you a boy? And I go, yeah. He goes, why are you wearing a skirt, son? And I go, I'm not sure. And then he goes, well, there are some weirdos out there that if they see you wearing a skirt, they're going to think you're a girl and they're going to try to hurt you. Okay.
Somebody please explain to me why straight people feel the need to have a straight Pride Month. You guys already have Ford Truck Month. What else do you want?
I hear there's a whiteout tomorrow. Baby, have you seen the makeup industry, the music industry, main media? Walk into any social studies classroom and you'll get what you want. There's been a whiteout for the past few centuries. Anyways, if you see a person of color on your For You page tomorrow, I want you to like their video and I want you to comment #POCUnity. And if you are the creator of color, then I want you to post a video of you flaunting your culture.
You know, of all the comments that I've received from my last post, this one hit me the most. And I'll tell you why. You see this timeline up here? 246 years of slavery, 89 years of segregation, and then 1954 today is 66 years of so-called freedom. And PSA, the people that were segregated back in there, still alive today, still living in those segregated areas. And PSA, these are the poorest neighborhoods in the country that are being gentrified by white people. So if you know basic math, this is about 401 years of being told you suck, you can't build up, but you can work for us on our plantation. That's 401 years of being falsely accused of crimes they did not commit and being racially profiled. That's 401 years white people had to build up themselves. But yet you want people of color to do it in 66 years. While they're still being targeted.
Say that.
That's 401 years of oppression, which brings on depression and crime and violence. And anecdotes are not data. So when Black lives finally matter, then all lives will matter.
3 nights of rioting began when Marsha P. Johnson, a black trans woman, threw a brick at a police officer, starting the Stonewall riots. And this June, we'll be celebrating Pride for the 50th time. So if you're wondering if the LGBT community supports the activists that are out rioting tonight, I'd say it's a pretty safe bet we do.
Here's why we say ACAB. The Department of Justice estimates that 10,000 dogs are shot by cops every year, which is about 25 dogs a day. That number is likely higher because cops aren't required to record animal deaths. In 35 states, police have the power to determine whether someone consented to sex while under custody, which means police can literally rape people on the job. At least 40% of cops commit acts of domestic violence and abuse. Since 2015, cops have shot an average of 3 people a day. The modern police force was created to control crowds and catch escaped slaves, not to serve and protect, unless you mean serving and protecting the ruling class. And that, ladies, gentlemen, and NB folk, is why we say ACAB.
So, what do you get when you take a butch lesbian who used to be hyper feminine in their teenage years and their trans goth girlfriend who needs help with her makeup sometimes?
You get a lesbian power couple. Look at my girlfriend. Look at how beautiful she is. I love her so much. We are in love. Sorry, I just wanted to show off. Bye, loser.
Hi, yeah, if there was ever a time to make any video of mine go viral, it would be right now. Minneapolis protesters, get out of there. Get out right now. They have been ordered to shoot you. And I really don't want any of you to die tonight, okay? Okay. You can protest at a different date. You can protest at a later date. But tonight is not the night. This is dangerous. This is actually dangerous to your well-being at this point. The National Guard and all officers on site have been ordered to shoot protesters. Get out of there right now. Okay, I don't know. I really hope this gets to a few people. I don't know if it will, but just please share this, spread the message, because this, just stay safe, please.
Reminder that there are indigenous people that are going missing and getting killed. And as your local indigenous creator, who is white passing 90% of the time, stop it.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Hey, when it comes to that George Floyd case, my people, it should be a few things that have been made evident. The first thing is that we know that the legal system has a different orientation to our bodies than they got to everybody else's. You see, the law says that we have some things about harsh and unusual punishment, you know what I'm saying? Being able to see a trial by jury, being able to have a counsel, hell, being able to be seen as innocent to proven guilty. Yet, somehow, some way, we got folks that still take up the right to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner when it comes to how people really doing anything. Number 2, we see that to this day, it's going to be people that's more pissed off by that knee that Colin Kaepernick took than the knee that killed George Floyd. And number 3, we see this country cares more about property destruction than it cares about the value of life. We see that this country cares more about the symbols of authority than it cares about our humanity. And that's on keeping it real. No gas.
Okay, you all know me, eat the rich, ACAB, if it's a chain, it's free reign. But here's even more of a reason. Specifically Target. We all know Target is one of the easiest places to steal from. For legal reasons, that's a joke. But Target is supporting the police department that murdered George Floyd. So, anyways, steal everything from Target.